Hey guys, Chris back with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures, and if you look at the back of my car and the side of my car, I went to the storage unit to pick up some stuff that we still have at the storage unit, and we need to bring back to the house. I'm in Chambersburg today. I had a couple appointments, so I figured I'd come over to the storage unit and grab some stuff. You can see we have a bunch of stuff. If you look behind me is, if you look close enough, you can see a fish tank. I don't know if we can see it there. That's all. It's covered. Let me go out, take a look, see if I can find it. Down there. Okay. So unfortunately, you know, with this move and everything, and it's cold out today. Hopefully it'll be in the 70s, 80s this weekend. But, you know, in the process of moving and getting stuff done, I kind of rushed through a lot of the stuff with the tanks and everything. And I'm just having a hell of a time, you know, catching up to where I put the tanks and what I want to do. I've been preoccupied with, you know, moving and getting stuff out of storage and all that good stuff. I haven't been focused on the fish tank. So I showed you guys the fish nook, I call it, and I want that to be my new breeding area with the shelving unit. Unfortunately, I didn't think this through because those wire, they call wire closet shelves pretty much. You know, it's a 5-foot section. I figured I put a couple tanks down there on that and it'll be okay. Now, I should have realized the first time I put a tank on there, the tank cracked. Now I thought it was because we put it down wrong or whatever. But this one, I woke up, or I went downstairs and I was gonna turn the lights off, and I noticed that half the water was missing out of the 10-gallon. Like, what the hell is going on here? Yesterday was just a terrible day. I set up a tote for the yellow peacock. I got her in there. She's doing great. I'm going to keep her there by herself. The 55 gallon is much more peaceful. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that fish yet. I haven't been able to get to Chambersburg or get to rehome him. So she's good for now. She got a heater in there. She's fine. You know, she's not attacking anybody. So, you know, like I said, my mistake for putting her in the smaller tank. I didn't think it would take me this long to find another bigger tank. And I just haven't had the time to do it. So I thought it'd be okay for a couple weeks, but it's not. So we're gonna leave that tote for now, in case we have to separate fish or whatever. I got those totes for a reason. So if we have to separate fish and rehome them or whatever, we can put them in there. So that's what we're gonna do. Until I find a good deal on like 100 gallon or 125 gallon, something like that, just to keep that in there. I'll get rid of the 55 gallon. I'll sell it with the stand, whatever, and we'll make some money back on it, whatever. Anyway, so when you put a fish tank, and this is a lesson learned, and I should have known this, and I think everyone knows this, when you have an 80-pound tank, so a 10-gallon tank with water is about 80 pounds. So you have 4 quadrants on the tank. You know, usually when you do a stand, you want to have the quadrants on, you know, in your tank, of your tank, on a support. Because, you know, each corner weighs 20 pounds, you're figuring. So if it's not, if the whole tank isn't supported, you know, every quadrant of the tank and the bottom, if it's not supported, you know, the weight is gonna, you know, 20 pounds is going this way, 20 pounds, depending on how you have it set up. On those wire shelving units, obviously it's not, there's a lot of space and air between, you know, the sections of, you know, where the shelving unit sits. So what was happening is all the weight was going onto one side, and it was, you know, messing with the seal. I should have known this, you know what I mean? Like, this is something that I should have thought about before I put those tanks on there. It's got to be, the whole tank has to be supported. The whole quadrant of the tank has to be supported, or it's going to leak. So, you know, I'm going to have to go out to the store and get, I measured it already. I think it's 5 foot by, I believe it was 20 inches or something like that. I'll have to put some wood underneath the tanks, and then put the tanks on top of it, because then that way the whole tank will be supported. So this is stuff that I should know. I've been doing fish tanks for 35 years, you know, and I should have known this after the first tank, but I didn't notice it, and unfortunately another tank is gone. So it's only a 10-gallon tank. I have in this storage unit, which will be given up at the end of this month, because now we have more storage at a new place. In this unit here, I still have 2 tanks in there. I took 1 tank out, which I'm going to use for the convicts. Now I can get rid of those 2 broken ones. I may reseal them eventually if I have it. I'll keep on the bottom just in case I got to reseal it. I can put some silicone on it. I can fix it. I'll keep them on the bottom, and I'll just save it just in case I need it. But I do have 2 extra 10-gallon tanks I'm going to use, so I'm not spending more money on tanks. I'll use 3. I want to use 3 10-gallons, and I want to do like 4 or 5 gallons, maybe more, depending on how much I decide to breed. And what I'll do is I will put a piece of board on top of that shelf so the tanks are supported okay. Now the 5-gallon tanks, you know, cut that in half. They're about 30 pounds, 40 pounds. So you're only putting 10 pounds on each side. So that shelf can handle that weight. 80 pounds is pushing it. So, like I said, it's my mistake. Again, I'm making these mistakes, but it happens, man. Like, this is what you got, you know. So I'm focused on so many things at one time that I didn't notice. So when I'm at like right now, I'm at the storage unit. I'm getting the tank. What I'm going to do is when I go back to the house, I'm going to set the 10-gallon up for tonight. Maybe I'll just keep in the tote for now, and I'll check the tote when I get back. They should be okay. But when I go to the store this weekend, I will show you what I'm going to do to make it more sturdy, and you know, we'll see what happens. So, I mean, I'll show you what happens, what I'm going to do to fix that problem. So, don't do what I do. Think things through when you're doing these fish tanks. You know, it's only a 10-gallon tank, but my original thought was putting the 20 gallons on there, 20-gallon longs. That would have been a terrible mistake. I probably would have lost 2 tanks. No, 2 20-gallon tanks. But like I said, with the space issue we have and the electricity issue we have, you know, I had to cut some stuff down, make moves. Unfortunately, some of the moves didn't work out the way I wanted to work out. I kind of rushed some things that I shouldn't have. But, you know, it's fixable, so we're going to fix it. You know, I last night when I saw the tank, I was like, man, I want to give up on this freaking fish stuff. And I thought that many times recently here. Because, you know, throughout the day, there's maybe 4 to 6 hours where I'm okay to do stuff, and then I'm done the rest of the day because of my heart condition. There's not much I could do that I could do for the length of the day without me getting tired. So I try to minimize my time, or maximize my time, I should say, you know, and do what I can in those 4 to 6 hours so I get stuff done. But, you know, when that 4 hours comes and I'm tired, I'm just about done. So I think the struggle is, you know, well, let's get this done in, you know, in a certain amount of time, and you rush through it, don't get it done, and you're like, oh man, what the hell, I made this mistake. And then, you know, but looking at the shelving unit, I should have said to myself, man, this is not going to work, you know. But I thought 10-gallon tanks, 5-gallon tanks, it would be okay, but I was wrong. So, you know, this is a learning experience for most people. You know, for people who are in the fish hobby, don't use those wire closet shelvings. I'm not a very good editor, but that video had to be cut short. I kind of went on a rant there. You guys pretty much get the idea when you put a tank on a wire shelf. It doesn't have a lot of support. it could cause a tank to leak, especially if it's leaning, if the weight's going to one side. So if the tank isn't sitting evenly, the weight could be all going to one side, and it could affect the seal. It's pretty much logistical, math or logistical, whatever you want to call it. So it was a mistake, and I ranted a little bit more in there, and I was gonna continue the video and show you guys what I did. It'll be a 2-part series, or I'll just do another video when I go to Home Depot or Lowe's to get the wood, which I'm gonna do. I haven't done that yet, and it's Saturday, so it won't be until Wednesday or Thursday, or maybe next weekend when I actually get out to Lowe's and get the wood and reinforce those shelves. So, in saying that, I will be making another video. I won't do part 1, part 2. I'll just do, this is going to be a video titled Fish Room Mistake, or Fish Room, whatever I decide to call it. And then we'll do another one just showing what we did, how to fix the problem. I already have another 10-gallon tank set up down there. Everybody's doing fine. I took them out of the tote, and that's pretty much where we left off. And I haven't had any other problems with the tanks as far as leaking. Knock on wood. But lesson learned, like I said, we all make these mistakes. A lot of times when you make a mistake, it's mostly because you're rushing through it and not paying attention. That's the point I was trying to make. So anyway, I always want to end the video in saying, if you can't own them, rehome them. And we are very much supportive of that on this channel. Anytime a fish gets rehomed, it feels good to see that fish going into a bigger place or a better situation. All right, so you guys have a good day. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I hope you guys continue to grow this channel. I think we're at a little over 160 something subscribers, which I never thought I'd get to, but we want to keep growing and getting better. I know some of you guys like the content. I don't know if you guys do. If you guys don't, let me know. We could change it up a little bit. I know a lot of these channels do, going to different fish stores, and I only did one fish store video. Didn't get a lot of views on it, but we can do that. But as for right now, we're going to focus on what we got going on here. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time, just keep an eye on that video. I want to keep you guys updated on what's going on almost every single day in this fish nook, fish room. So it's kind of like a, I'm gonna slash it, because the garage is the fish room and downstairs is the fish nook. So the nook is going to be more of a breeding station, and just the fish that we could we know that aren't going to go to a bigger tank. The jaguars probably will. I will have to rehome them, but eventually we want to make that tank into another. I might make that into a shrimp tank, or I might do something else in there. I'm not sure yet, but that's going to be a nano tank or a grow out tank down there. So we'll keep everything, anything small is going to be going down there. The 15 gallons up here still, that's just because of space, but we don't know what we're going to do in the future. We still want to move stuff around, so we'll see what happens. But after right now, we'll keep the 15 gallon up here, and then everything else is downstairs. All the smaller tanks downstairs. All the small, anything under 15 gallons is downstairs, pretty much. 15 gallons and under is all downstairs, and the 230 gallons are because of space issues. But you get the hint. All the 10 gallons or 5 gallons that we're gonna we set up our breeding station are gonna be downstairs. So we'll kind of figure it out from there. We'll make it fish room / nook. When I go in the basement, I'll be in the nook. When I'm in the garage, I'll be in the fish room. All right, guys. See you next time.